you today. Could you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, it's nice to be with you today. Thank you for the space. I am León Guerrero. I'm from Honduras, and I'm so happy to be doing this interview and to be part of the group of poets that are reading at the 36th International Poetry Festival in Medellín.
Okay. So you were chosen as one of the 10 poets, especially with the invitation. How do you feel?
I'm very honored that I was chosen between 800 poets. I think it's something very important that the festival does in having an open space, because this way we get to hear new voices, and I've been able to meet the other selectees, and they are very talented, and they have a lot of talent, and I am excited to be part of those who were selected.
Beautiful. All right, now I go to my first question. In Ontario, you contrast the violence of migration with the richness of community, family, and belonging. How do you navigate the tension between the desire for a better future elsewhere and the value of staying rooted in one's homeland?
Well, while I'm here, a lot of Europeans tell me that Latin American people are very warm, and they hug, and they're very talkative. And I think in a way that's a byproduct of some of the difficulties that we have economically wise. So there's no differentiating between us, because there's no different classes. So that makes us come together. We don't differentiate ourselves because we have a nice car or we live in a nice neighborhood. It's very communal. There's a lot of togetherness, and that strength comes from the group, because there's no individual millionaires or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of struggle, but we always struggle together, because that's the way we move through life and we advance.
Nice. So being together, we can make a huge difference, do you think?
Yes, I think for many people in the global south, it's the only way. Like, that's why we are so personable and warm and kind, because otherwise we wouldn't survive. In many cases of people that are forced to migrate, which is the subject of my book, there is no support at all from a government or a steady job.
Yeah.
So we have to live together and grow together and suffer together and be together.
Nice. So you've spoken about artists having a responsibility to address the structural injustices, similar to the role that socially conscious hip-hop artists once played. What do you believe poetry can do today that journalism, politics, or social media cannot?
Yeah, so I was speaking to Paul Muldoon from Northern Ireland, and he says that the poet needs to be free from all the attachments, political agendas. So I think the poet has that precisely. It has liberty, and it should not be restrained to say what he wants. In my case, I see on the news the migrant crisis and the economical crisis, and I have a liberty to talk in a way that I think social media or the news media or politicians, they don't have that liberty. So that's the importance of poets in the 21st century for me.
Beautiful. So in the poem Hell of Ocean, you transform a deeply personal story into a poem about survival, identity, and love. How do you decide when a personal experience becomes something that can speak to a wider, collective reality?
Well, one of the themes of my book is rebirth and fragment, when identity is fragmented, because the migrant experience is just that. Like some of us who have migrated are Yeah, so some of us who have migrated from the global south feel not so much that we did it voluntarily, but that we felt expelled from it. So there's a duality to the migrant experience. So you feel sometimes love, sometimes hate, sometimes indifference, sometimes compassion, and it depends. And the migrant is on the eye of the beholder, you know. So it's always very dual, and it goes to many different extremes. So it's like we need to, you know, find ourselves within ourselves to be able to adapt to a new culture.
Yeah, and to survive.
Yes, to
For
survive.
the long run.
Also. There's gonna be rejection and there's gonna be acceptance. So that always has an influence on how we see each other.
Yeah, and you need to prepare for that as well.
Yes, of course.
So is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to thank you for the space, and I hope we will continue to collaborate together for many years, and I wish you all the success in the world, and thank you for the space.
Thank you so much.